The year is 1274. For nearly 2 decades, the Mongol Empire has attempted to conquer one of the last great independent kingdoms in East Asia, the Kingdom of Japan. Across the sea, the Mongols have already subdued vast territories, building the largest contiguous empire in human history. Under the rule of Kublai Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, their power stretches from the shores of the Pacific to the edges of Europe. Kublai Khan believes Japan should submit peacefully, just as many other nations have done. He sends envoys demanding tribute and recognition of Mongol authority. The Japanese shogunate refuses. More envoys arrive. Again, they are rejected. Diplomacy has failed. The Khan decides that Japan will be conquered by force. To the Mongols, victory seems inevitable. They have crushed empires far larger and more powerful than Japan. Their armies are experienced, disciplined, and backed by the resources of China and Korea. Preparations begin for an enormous amphibious invasion unlike anything East Asia has ever seen. In the autumn of 1274, hundreds of ships gather along the Korean coast. On board are tens of thousands of Mongol, Chinese, and Korean soldiers. The invasion fleet sails across the sea toward Japan. The first targets are the islands of Tsushima and Iki, which stand between Korea and the Japanese mainland. Their defenders fight bravely but are overwhelmed. Villages burn, fortifications fall, and the Mongol advance continues. Survivors flee south with terrifying stories of an enemy unlike anything Japan has encountered before. Soon the invasion force reaches Hakata Bay on the island of Kyushu. Waiting for them are Japanese samurai. The samurai are formidable warriors, but their style of warfare differs dramatically from that of the Mongols. Traditionally, samurai battles emphasize individual combat, personal honor, and duels between notable warriors. The Mongols, however, fight as coordinated units. They care little for ritual or ceremony. Their objective is simple: victory. When the battle begins, the Japanese are immediately shocked. Mongol drums thunder across the battlefield. Coordinated volleys of arrows darken the sky. Explosive bombs filled with gunpowder burst among the defenders, creating noise and destruction unlike anything most Japanese soldiers have ever witnessed. The samurai attempt to engage in traditional combat, but the Mongols refuse to fight on those terms. They advance in disciplined formations, supporting one another with missile fire and coordinated attacks. The fighting becomes chaotic and brutal. Despite their tactical advantages, the Mongols face difficulties of their own. The Japanese resistance is fierce. Samurai warriors launch repeated counterattacks, preventing the invaders from securing a decisive foothold inland. Casualties mount on both sides. As night falls, the Mongol commanders make a critical decision. Rather than remain vulnerable on shore, they withdraw much of their force back onto their ships in the bay, intending to resume the offensive the following day. Then nature intervenes. During the night, a violent storm sweeps across the waters of Hakata Bay. Powerful winds and massive waves smash into the crowded Mongol fleet. Ships collide with one another. Anchors fail. Vessels are driven onto rocks or overturned entirely. By morning, large portions of the invasion fleet have been destroyed. Thousands of soldiers drown in the chaos. Survivors who reach shore are hunted down by Japanese defenders. The invasion collapses. The remaining Mongol forces retreat across the sea. For the Japanese, the victory feels miraculous. Yet Kublai Khan refuses to accept defeat. 7 years later, he launches an even larger invasion. In 1281, an armada of staggering size sails toward Japan. Historians estimate that it may have included more than 4,000 ships and over 100,000 men, making it one of the largest invasion fleets assembled before the modern era. But Japan has learned from the first attack. Along Hakata Bay, defensive walls have been constructed to prevent easy landings. Samurai forces are better prepared and more coordinated. For weeks, they harass Mongol positions and prevent the invaders from establishing secure control. The struggle drags on through the summer. Then disaster strikes the Mongols again. A massive typhoon forms over the sea. For 2 days, the storm batters the invasion fleet with incredible force. Ships are smashed against each other. Thousands are wrecked along the coastline. Entire sections of the armada disappear beneath the waves. When the storm finally passes, the Mongol invasion force has ceased to exist as an effective army. The Japanese call the storm the Kamikaze, the divine wind. Whether viewed as luck, weather, or divine intervention, the result is undeniable. Twice the most powerful empire on Earth has attempted to conquer Japan. Twice it has failed. The consequences are enormous. For Kublai Khan, the invasions are costly disasters that drain resources and damage prestige. For Japan, the victories become foundational moments in national identity, reinforcing the belief that the islands possess a unique destiny and divine protection. Historians continue to debate how close the Mongols came to success. Without the storms, the outcome may have been very different. Yet history records what happened, not what might have happened. The Mongol Empire conquered kingdoms, crushed dynasties, and reshaped continents. It defeated armies from China to Hungary, but across the waters of the Sea of Japan, it encountered an enemy it could never fully overcome. The failed Mongol invasions of Japan remain one of history's greatest examples of how preparation, determination, geography, and a little luck can change the fate of nations. Two enormous fleets crossed the sea expecting conquest. Neither would return victorious.